Everything you see, everything you touch, and everything you feel seems solid. But physics tells us a different story. At the most fundamental level, the universe is not made of hard matter, it is made of energy. It is made of vibration, and the most complex machine in the known universe, your brains, no exception. Welcome back to part 2 of our Neuroscience Basics series. In our previous sessions, we explored the brain as a chemical factory. We talked about dopamine fuels, serotonin balances, and cortisol stress signals. But today, we are changing our perspective entirely. We are going to look at the brain not as a chemical factory, but as an electrical generator. Today, we are exploring topic 17. Alpha, beta, theta, brain waves explained. Every single thought you have, every emotion that washes over you, is actually a pulse of electricity. Billions of neurons are firing together in synchronization. When they fire together, they create a rhythm, a frequency that can be measured. We call these rhythms brainwaves. Why does this matter to you? Because your state of mind, whether you are stressed, focused, creative, or asleep, is directly determined by which frequency your brain is tuned to. Think of your brain like a radio. If you want to listen to jazz, you have to tune to the jazz station. If you are stuck on the heavy metal station, you will never find peace. Most of us are living our lives stuck on one station, unaware that we have a dial we can turn. Let's walk through the different stations, starting with the one you are likely in right now. The first station is beta. Beta is the frequency of the waking, analytical mind. It vibrates at a fast speed, around 13 to 30 cycles per second. This is the state of doing. It is necessary for logical thinking, solving problems, and navigating busy traffic. When you are debating a point or analyzing a spreadsheet, you are in beta. However, there is a dark side to beta. When the frequency gets too high, it turns into high beta. This is the frequency of stress, anxiety, and paranoia. It is the static noise of the brain. When you can't stop overthinking, when your inner critic is shouting at you, you are stuck in a high beta loop. Modern society, with its constant notifications and deadlines, keeps most of us locked in this high-stress frequency all day long. We burn out because we never change the station. Now, let's turn the dial down. As we slow the rhythm, we enter the sweet spot. The second station is alpha. Alpha is the frequency of relaxation and being. It vibrates slower, between 8 and 13 cycles per second. Imagine sitting by the ocean, watching the waves roll in. You are awake, but you are not analyzing. You are calm. You are present. This is the alpha state. Alpha is often called the bridge. It is the bridge between the conscious mind beta and the subconscious mind. It is the state of flow that athletes and artists talk about. When you are in alpha, you learn faster. Your brain produces more serotonin. It is the state where you are most creative because the noise of beta has quieted down, allowing new ideas to surface. But we can go deeper. The third station is theta. Theta is the frequency of the twilight zone. It vibrates even slower, between 4 and 8 cycles per second. You experience this state twice every single day, those fleeting moments just before you fall asleep and just as you wake up. Theta is the domain of the subconscious. It is where your deepest memories, emotional patterns, and intuition resides. In theta, the critical filter of the logical mind is completely bypassed. This is why hypnotherapy works. It accesses the theta state to rewrite deep-seated scripts. It is also the state of deep meditation and vivid visualization. If beta is the office, and alpha is the living room, theta is the dream world. Finally, there is delta. These are the slowest waves, below 4 cycles per second. This is deep, dreamless sleep. In delta, you are completely unconscious, but your body is busy healing and regenerating. So, why is this knowledge powerful? Because most people believe their state of mind is something that happens to them. They think, I am just anxious today, or I just can't focus. But once you understand brainwaves, you realize you can shift gears. You can move from beta to alpha consciously. How? The most direct way is through the breath. Remember the physiological sigh we discussed, that slows your heart rate. But to shift brainwaves, you need to shift your focus. Closing your eyes immediately boosts alpha waves because you shut down the visual processing center, which consumes a lot of processing power. Meditation is not a spiritual ritual. It is a mechanical practice of shifting from beta to alpha and theta. When you sit and focus on your breath, you are manually turning the dial down. You are stepping out of the traffic of high beta and into the flow of alpha. Creative. Problem solving often happens not when we are grinding in beta, but when we step away, take a shower, or go for a walk. Why? Because that activity induced an alpha state, and the solution bubbled up from the deeper, intuitive layers of your mind. You are the conductor of this orchestra. You don't have to play the fast, chaotic music of stress all day. You have the permission and the ability to slow the rhythm down. But there is a catch. We have the engine, the chemicals, and we have the transmission, the brainwaves. But who is driving the car? Who decides which station to tune to? Who makes the executive decision to stop scrolling social media and start meditating? That responsibility falls to the CEO of the brain, the most evolved and yet the most energy expensive part of your anatomy. In our next episode, we are going to meet the boss. We will move to part 2, topic 18, the prefrontal cortex and decision-making. We will explore why it is so hard to make good decisions when we are tired and how to strengthen your willpower. For today, I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath and feel the frequency of your mind slow down. Tune into the quiet. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.